But you and I, we then must say, yeah, okay. Hello everybody. Today I want to talk to you about the gift of prayer. The fact that gift is a prayer. The fact that prayer is a gift. And speaking is a gift too. Most of my life, believing has been very, very easy. It was one brief moment. I used to go to a prayer meeting when I was a teenager, mostly because of the female attendees, to be honest, if I'm really honest. And I remember sitting there one time and we were praying the rosary and I was bored out of my mind. I said, at this moment of like doubt, this was my brief moment of agnosticism. I said, oh God, I'm really sorry about this, but I'm not sure you're real. Sorry, okay? I think I felt too bad. I couldn't maintain it for length of a Hail Mary. In fairness, it was probably the most real prayer I prayed that night. Anyway, so faith to believe, that is a gift. That means it can be given at a certain moment, but also that it's this experience also like continuously being given this capacity. And the same is true for prayer. I realized this very powerfully recently. I got sick recently and it was just like a 24-hour bug, 48 hours, whatever it was. It wasn't very pleasant. But as I've shared on here before about the difficulty when I get really sick and then afterwards, it's so hard to pray. It's hard to pray when you're sick, right? If you're really sick, it's really hard to pray. I wasn't as sick this time, so I could do a bit of prayer, and mostly just simple little prayers. Afterwards, again, just the challenge to rebuild my prayer life. And I had this tremendous experience of just like, wow, prayer is really not me. Like, it's really God. Usually I'm praying out of his strength and I don't even realize it. I just get up and I do my thing and I go to the chapel and I start my prayers and then I keep going for like 2.5 hours or something. And at this point in my life, I'm like, yeah, of course, that's what you do as a friar. You pray. Not remembering all the time that no, doesn't matter if you're a friar or not, or a priest or whatever you are. If you don't have the grace, you can't do it. You can want to do it, maybe. Even that's a grace. You could ask for it, even that's a grace. But you can't actually successfully stick at it without his help. It's just not going to happen. So that was just beautiful to realize that. It's really humbling. This is true of pretty much everything. Everything is a grace, is a gift. God is at work, not like a puppet master moving us. As Catholics, we truly believe that we are free. It's not a perfect freedom, but that we are free, that we have free will, free choice, and that we have to choose. When God gives us a capacity and a desire to do something good, and we couldn't do it without that. But that it's an invitation. It's not a forcing. It's not like a puppeteer pulling my arm. Now I must raise my right arm and now I must scratch my head. Like, no, I actually decided to do those things. And I realized that there's limitations around our freedom, but that God is the one who is all about giving us this freedom. And he's the one who's inviting us into goodness all the time. So too, back to prayer. Prayer is a gift. So if you prayed today at all, whatever quality of prayer you thought it was, God is at work in your heart, giving you the desire and the performance, as St. Paul says, something like that. I believe it's in Philippians. Gives us the desire and also this capacity to do it. And if you have either of those or both of those, just thank him. Also, ask him. Ask the Lord. Say, Lord, please, I want to pray better. Even if I don't pray more, I just want to pray better. I want to love you more in my prayer. I want to be more present, more sincere. Would you please help me? Sometimes we get stuck in the methods. Oh, I just need to focus more. We're just blaming ourselves. I get so distracted in prayer. And okay, yes, I need to say yes to the grace he gives me. But also, sometimes we're just trying our best and we're weak and we just need to bring that to him and say, Jesus, this is just me. I'm sorry. Would you help me pray more? Would you help me pray better? I had to do that to rebuild my whole prayer life. I wasn't presuming that I could do my hour of meditation in the morning or my holy hour in the evening. I wasn't presuming for once that I could, well, I'll just go to Mass because that's what I do. Like, no, that's a grace. I'm not going to presume I can pray morning prayer. I'm going to ask him, please help me. Same with fasting. Fasting is a grace and we must ask him. Anytime, like the friars, we fast on Fridays and we also, we do an abstinence on Wednesdays. Some of the brothers out of fasting, but even that, or, if you do a longer fast, when I go in, usually right before, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. It seems like the hardest thing in the world. But then a grace comes. And even before I start fasting, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's not just me to do that. Okay, there's maybe a change in my attitude. I'm looking at it differently, whatever else, but psychological tricks won't get you to heaven. They can't make me build a prayer life that I want to have. I really need him. He will give it to you. He gave it to me. I'm still trying to rebuild to the prayer life I previously had, but I'm now realizing, wow, I don't have to make this happen. I don't have to dig deeper and really strive harder. I just need to ask him, guys. And if you're not a prayer, if you don't want to pray, you don't like praying, it's like prayer, ooh. Saint Jean Vianney, the curé of Ars, one of the great prayers, he said, the more you pray, the more you want to pray. So if you don't want to pray, just ask him. He'd love to give it to you. And then if you get any desire at all, any curiosity, any openness, your freedom is being engaged. Your freedom is being gifted to you towards this thing that you asked for, but you must choose it. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. The Lord can give you desires and capacity, and you're sitting there on all this desire and capacity to do the good thing. But you and I, we then must say, yeah, okay, it's like a boulder at the top of a hill. The Lord put us on the hill, but we have all this potential energy. We just need to give in, just start rolling with him. And as you start to pray, as Romani said, as you pray, you want to pray, you start to realize, wow, as you start to encounter him, as you start to experience grace in your soul, you start to get a sense of the geography of God's heart, of what it is like to live the life of grace. Well, actually, this is kind of nice. It is, it's beautiful. Guys, the most beautiful thing you'll ever experience if you give yourself to the life of prayer is union with God, is through prayer. The most beautiful thing you'll ever experience. I promise you, but you have to give it a go or you won't know. I didn't mean to rhyme that, so that sounded really bad. Anyway, there you go, that's me. Prayer's a gift, so pray to pray. God bless you. Bye-bye.